Good morning and good evening, everyone. Welcome back. So yesterday we started configuring CI/CD, and we are trying to club all the concepts we practiced. So we used Helm chart, stateful set, deployment service, horizontal pod autoscaler. So everything we are doing, and then so today we complete that, and in tomorrow's session, so we will create the EKS cluster through Terraform. Okay, and then so when you create through Terraform, and yeah, so that's the only thing pending in the infrastructure. So EKS till now we created through EKS CTL, and tomorrow we'll create through the Terraform so that you'll get access. And the remaining things are same. It's like this catalog. So we are using Helm charts right now. That is to templatize, to parameterize the manifest files, and then stateful set we already used. Okay, so that's the only thing pending. So we have the cluster ready. Okay. We have the cluster ready. And yesterday we created databases, right? So first thing, let us create the databases. So today it is more like revisioning. We will again configure Ingress controller for our RoboShop project so that you will get full clarity on that. Okay, 8 databases. So yesterday we created first thing. So the same thing yesterday, install EBS CSI drivers. Okay, 8 databases. Don't we have README here? Okay. Yeah, we have README here. So this is the CSI driver we installed yesterday. CSI drivers are installed, and after that, provide access to EC2 servers. Going here and then providing access and create SC. So SC is as part of our storage class, and then namespace we are creating. So kubectl apply -f admin.aml. Okay, so I'll take one session here, K9s. Space RoboShop. Okay, so yeah, here we will go to MongoDB Helm install MongoDB dot. Okay, cd Helm folder, Helm install MongoDB dot, and then Redis helm install regis dot again helm folder MySQL helm install MySQL dot and then RabbitMQ helm install RabbitMQ dot. Okay, so containers are getting created. So this is through the stateful set. So now we need to create our applications. So applications always comes under CI/CD. So CI/CD generally is not for database servers. So let us open this. The developer, they come here and then they will build the pipeline. So obviously it will fail now because we don't have authentication. So your agent is performing everything on behalf of us. It's nothing different. So whatever the commands you are running through the workstation, the same commands you have to configure inside the agent with authentication. Okay. So if you see, this pipeline is nothing different. This is mostly the same commands, whatever we are running here, we are just keeping it inside the pipelines because every time we cannot run manually. Okay, so you can see everything. So going inside the Helm, just replacing the image version with the actual version, and then running this Helm command. Okay. So on behalf of us, from our servers, agent is doing everything. So you have to configure agent completely. So this failure is maybe through because of authentication failure. Okay. So because I didn't do any authentication here. So let me go to the agent. Yesterday's authentication was still available here. So I didn't update it. So I'm just removing the present thing and then AWS EKS update kube config region US East 1 name of the cluster EKS spot cluster. kubectl get nodes. So agent is ready. Now you can trigger this. Catalog has no deploy releases. Okay. So for the first time, you need to run Helm install, and the next time you need to run Helm upgrade. but better you check already Helm component is running. Based on that, you can take the decision here. For example, here we have to write a simple condition. If Helm is already running with this component, you need to run Helm upgrade command. Otherwise, you need to go with Helm install command. Okay, so that's the thing ideally we have to do. While practicing, you just find out how to do that. Just writing a simple if condition there. Okay. Now, is it running or not? Yeah, this is deploy. Okay, so MySQL is failed. Catalog is getting created. Let us see why it is failed. Config map MySQL not found. Okay, I will delete this and then create again. Just deleting the pod. Why MySQL config map is not found? Okay, maybe that is because of namespace. RoboShop is there. PVC service and stateful set. Rest is there, but why is it not found? MySQL Helm install or Helm upgrade MySQL dot. The templates ls-l cat config map. Okay, here it is not getting as namespace. Maybe I change something later. Oh, this is strange. Okay, here something modified but not pushed. Okay, 8 databases. Yeah, that is the problem. Hit pull. Now Helm upgrade, let us run. Now this is fine. So we got MySQL config map. Let me go to pods. Let us see this will create or not. Okay. I'm describing this. Just pressing D. Oh, again, something wrong with this. cat stateful set, cat templates, stateful set. It is EBS MySQL PVC. Cat PVC dot HAML. So EBS SC, but it is saying persistent volume claim EBS dynamic PVC not found. Maybe some old configuration. This is for MongoDB, sorry. MongoDB help templates stateful set. EBS dynamic PVC cat templates PVC. Okay, it is available. Any namespace mistake? Yes, again namespace mistake here. Yesterday maybe we didn't notice that. Namespace RoboShop. Okay, so namespace level resources, we need to carefully give namespace. Okay, pull. Helm upgrade MongoDB dot. Now let us see. Now it is getting created automatically. So we have the databases and we have the catalog. Now let us create our web container with Ingress controller and then let us see. So Ingress controller. So last time we mentioned few steps. We'll discuss the topic Ingress controller once again. So you know the difference between classic and Ingress. Okay. So classic versus ALB, sorry, classic versus ALB. Classic is old generation, only legacy. You will get only load balancing between servers. Okay. Classic is old, only load balancing, not intelligent. ALB is new generation. Intelligent routing is available. Okay, so like host-based routing, context path routing is available. So in header-based routing is also available. Based on some headers, you can redirect the traffic to multiple target groups. So that is intelligent. So AWS is recommending us to use ALB as a load balancer, but unfortunately here Ingress controller or Ingress, so it will only get classic load balancer automatically. So if you want to get ALB, so we need to do some settings. So those settings we already got from the official website. So these are the settings. OIDC provider. So as an administrator, you have to run these commands. This is just giving access to our nodes. to create AWS load balancer. And then this one. So we are installing AWS load balancer controller. So just change with your account number. Okay. And then installing Helm charts. So when you complete these steps, our EKS will have some pods in the namespace, kube system namespaces. So those pods will take care how to create AWS load balancer. Okay, so remember one thing, in Kubernetes, everything is a pod. Whatever the drivers you install, like EBS CSI drivers, EFS drivers, everything is a pod here. Now, once you do this, kubectl get pods -n kube system. So this is the administrator namespace. So here AWS load balancer controller, your AWS node and DNS, EBS CSI controller, kube proxy, everything here, every component inside Kubernetes is working as a pod. So now if you create an ingress, so ingress will send a communication to this AWS load balancer controller. So this pod will connect with AWS services through the OIDC provider we have done right now, and then it will create the load balancer for us. Okay, so you don't need to understand the implementation of these things. Just remember everything and anything inside Kubernetes is going to be done through the pods. Okay, so now ingress controller is set up. Now let us go to our web. So web is a different front-end application. There we don't have anything. So let me just go to this RoboShop web. So here, if you see, there is no application actually, because it's a front-end component. Only thing is we are copying these things. So nothing much. There is no installations. There is no scannings because it is just HTML. There is no yeah. So that's what I mean to say. So you can write CI/CD application for this, but it is not any specific programming language. This is a static website. A few projects, they will consider this as a Node.js project, even front end. So in that case, you can go to our Node.js EKS application, Node.js EKS pipeline. Okay, for now, I'm doing this as a standard application. Okay, so here, RoboShop configuration manifest file. So right now we only have catalog. Okay, or else let me create a new folder for this web. We need to make it as Helm also. So inside web, let me copy this all things. So this is the static HTML code, Docker file, and manifest. Okay. The Docker file manifest. So this one you can create as Helm. So by this time, I'm sure you should understand what is Helm and the important files here, chart.ml, values.ml, and templates folder. So inside this, you can parameterize everything. So right now we have config map and then deployment, service, horizontal pod autoscaler. So Helm config map dot ml, and then deployment. So generally it is a Node.js project in our real-time applications. So then you follow the same process. Okay. But here this guys gave it as a simple static thing. Dot values dot deployment dot image version, and then here deployment and image version. Right now it is 1.0.0. Okay, and service and then horizontal pod auto scaler. So here we have one more thing, that is ingress. So ingress is a component that can create the AWS load balancer, for example. So let us just understand this, the communication once again. So this is our AWS account. So we have the VPC or Route 53. So VPC obviously we will have, I need to draw it here. So this Route 53 we are configuring with our application load balancer. Okay, so this is the application load balancer. So the request is directly coming from here. Okay, Route 52 application load balancer. So this is nothing but our ingress. So inside ingress, okay, first let me create and then show you how it works. Only for mass front-end applications, like the public is accessing your application, then you should create ingress. Otherwise, no need. Ingress.aml. So let me take this example. Already we have done K8 ingress. Okay. Something is missing. Web help templates service. Oh, thank you so much. So here, this is the ingress object. So our app name is, for example, RoboShop, and then namespace is also RoboShop. Internet facing, we are creating a group called Join DevOps. So now this will become, we are creating ALB load balancer. This will become roboshop.joindevops.online. So this one will go to our service. What is our service name? Web. Okay, so this ingress, is nothing but going to be a rule. So we will see that now. So first let me create that web. So ultimately, each and every component here will be taken care by a separate team. So imagine Amazon is a very, very big project, right? So inside that, and there will be different modules, like cart is one module, catalog is one module. So every module is handled by different team, different software engineers, different developers, different DevOps engineers. Okay, so it should be managed as different repos. Hit remote add origin. This is done. And let me clone here. Hit clone. CD web. CD helm. So do we have the helm charts? Okay, so not copied. Let me copy the chat. This is web and the values is 1.0.0. It is already mentioned here. Just checking once again, everything is correct. Config map, namespace RoboShop, deployment namespace RoboShop, HPA RoboShop is mentioned, ingress RoboShop is mentioned, service is also RoboShop mentioned. Okay, now let me push the changes. Pull. Now Helm install web dot. Now here web container is getting created. Let us go and check ingress. The ingress RoboShop is also created. Now let us see this. Now we will go to the load balancers. My two load balancers. I joined DevOps RoboShop. Created this. This one we haven't created actually. We created application load balancer only. Okay, let me check here. Two rules, roboshop.joindevops.online. It will go to the RoboShop web and my two load balancers still not sure. Okay, let's just troubleshoot this. What's so this is crash loop back off. Let me see. Why is it crash loop back off? Okay, some configuration host or user not found. Okay, so this is the error. Maybe here we don't have user component set up now. Maybe, but still we have the user component here. I didn't remove this. Okay, push. But why ingress? This one is also created. We asked for ALB, internet facing IP join DevOps. So let me delete this Helm chart and then check. Help delete web chart. So now the resources should be gone. Two load balancers are deleted. Do we have anything else here? Art, chat. So this is web templates at Ingress. Anything wrong? Seems okay. Let me check once again. Helm install web dot. Again, two load balances. One is network and another one is application. We'll see this. To see the pod. Pod is fine. So it should be healthy. We need to wait until this load balancer is active. So we'll check. Ingress is creating ALB and network load balancer, NLB. So all the instances are here. First, let us access our application and then see why is it happening like that. Okay, so this is done. So now we need to do one thing, Route 53. Hosted join DevOps.online, and here the record. First, I'm editing this, and then here, so this one, and save. Okay, let me take incognito mode. RoboShop.joinDevOps.online. Can you try this also? RoboShop.joinDevOps.online. 377A, something like this. I'm not getting. Can you try all? Maybe because of security group, nodes are not allowing. So from here, it will go to those. So few persons are able to access, few persons are not able to access. Let me try in my mobile. I can't access. Few persons are accessing. It's working. It's not working in my system here. Oh, this HTTPS, sorry. So if it is working for you, can you able to access the categories? If not opening for me, then roboshop dot join DevOps dot online. Yes, so if you are able to access, and it's fine, maybe browser issues. Let me try in Edge roboshop dot join DevOps dot online. Okay, so if you're accessing something is wrong from my browsers, let us check how the communication is working. Okay, from first it will go to the application load balancer, and whatever the ingress you have mentioned here, so that is the rules here. So if you just see the listeners and rules, so whatever the rules you mentioned there, like roboshop.joindevops.online, this is the ingress resource, and this one is forwarding the traffic to the target group. So in this target group, our pods are coming and then attaching. Okay, can say this directly. So how these pods are coming and attaching? So ingress is mapped with, so application load balancer is mapped with ingress. Kubernetes ingress. Okay. So this is ingress rule. And this one is mapped with the service, Kubernetes service. And this service is balancing between the pods. Okay, so this is the actual communication. So whenever a new pod is registered to the service, so whenever a new pod is registered to the service, what this one service will do is, so it will attach to the target group. So you can see if you increase the number of replicas, so this will come and attach automatically. Okay, so that is how it is working. But the only thing I'm not understanding is why network load balancer is created. Same method we followed, but still. So I will check it later. So now imagine another project is started, Amazon on Flipkart in our joint DevOps company. So how the ingress will be? So though they will start something .amazon.joindevops.online, and they will redirect this traffic to their in their namespace. Okay, so they will get access to the Amazon namespace, and they will create ingress resource, and this one will go and add another rule. Okay, here it will add another rule, and yeah, communication is same from application load balancer to the ingress resource that works as rule, and this is attached to the service. Service is attached to the pod. So this service is getting this pod and then adding them into the target group. Now you can see here. So if I just increase the number of replicas, for example, let me go to the deployment of web. You can just edit here directly, press E, and I will just give 2 replicas. So this will go. So whenever there is 2 replicas, what does it mean? Service is load balancing between 2 pods. So then this service will make this available. Then this service will make it available here inside the target group. You can see this here. So immediately it is coming up. Okay, so that is how service is working as a load balancer, and it is able to communicate to the AWS target group. So this is the process of ingress control. So this is the administration task to create this AWS load balancer controller, and this one, whatever we did till now. This is the administrator task. So they will inform you. So we have the ingress available. You can go ahead and then create your resources. And they will inform you so about the group name also. Now Join DevOps is a group name, one project. Okay, another project also can come up. So for example, let me take this. So Join DevOps is a company here. So this company is handling multiple modules inside that. So that is RoboShop is one project, and Amazon is another project. So you have a single load balancer to your ingress load balancer to your EKS cluster, and then you can create multiple ingress resources. Okay, so ALB is very powerful. It will handle millions of requests also. So maybe your guys are accessing more. This is getting created. Okay. So similarly, I just forgot to update the RoboShop shared library. So today we will just do the same thing for our user project using shared libraries. Okay, user. So the code, user code, let me take it from Create RoboShop. And then this is the code, Docker file, manifest, package.json, this one. So now user component are starting, but I don't have any interest to do the entire pipeline. So what I do as a developer or as a DevOps engineer, so these guys, how the process will start. So you have to tell this in interviews. So whenever a new project is started, a new module is started, so developers approach DevOps engineers. Okay, so now what you have to do, carefully remember these points. First thing, discuss branching strategy. Okay, you have to tell them how they should develop master branch, feature branch, and then pull request process and number of reviewers. So these settings you will do in their Bitbucket repo or GitHub repo. Okay, so usually developers, they may not have the GitHub complete settings. Okay, they cannot view the settings. So you will go and then set up that GitHub settings and we'll discuss them with the branching strategy. Now you'll ask them to keep Jenkins file. Okay, so that Jenkins file you will give them. So the Jenkins file you can just copy. So you will understand. So they will say we are Node.js project and then EKS deployment. So deployment platform where you are deploying your application is also important, and what programming language is also important. So you can say, so we already have the shared libraries developed for that, and this is our shared library. And then you will give this Jenkins file and they will keep it here. And you will just say one-time changes. This is going to be user and Node.js EKS, and then that's it. Okay. So they will keep this Jenkins file, and writing Docker file is their responsibility. And you will help them anyhow if they find any errors. And then they will create Helm also. And so Helm, let me spend some time and write for this also. So config map. So inside this, they will create config map dot, sorry, this is chat.ml and values.ml, and we will have templates folder, and here config map.ml. So if they are not sure about this Docker files and Kubernetes, you have to help them. Okay. And after that, what else we have? Deployment. Namespace RoboShop, everything is fine. So here, dot values dot deployment dot image version deployment image version. So I'm keeping a placeholder here, and then after that service service.ml. namespace rover shop, that is fine. And then, yeah, so now we need to write hpa.aml also. So that hpa, let me copy it from catalog. User, yeah, that's it. But here you need to, don't forget something. You should have your resources. If you don't give resources, your HPA will not work. Requests CPU initially 50 millicores, and then memory 68. You can give anything, okay? So you guys will decide generally based on Apache benchmarking. Yesterday we did CPU and then 100M, and memory it's 128 MB. Okay. So HPA, everything is set up, and then they'll do these things. You'll help them to understand. You have to write deployment file like this, HPA like this, service like this, and config map like this. This is the one-time job. Okay, so they don't need to come and then change each and every time. So everything is setting up automatically. And you set up the component name user, everything is good. And so now let us try one. So package.json application version, let me give it as 1.2.0. So, and these guys will push them. So we need to create our repository user. Let me take this cd user git init git remote add origin. Okay. And then git master. So this is the job. For example, team leader did, he has the master access. Now developers start working. So what you do, they will check, they will create a branch, create branch microservice. For example, git checkout microservice. Okay, now they will push to microservice branch. Okay, so here we have this available for the first time. Microservice is also available. Now let us go and then create the multi-branch pipeline for this. So this is the same way you should explain how you work within the company. What is your daily job? So my daily job is, so if there is any, my daily job is to set up the pipelines using Jenkins CI/CD automated pipelines, and then we will manage our project namespace into the Kubernetes. So the daily work is one thing, moving projects into DevOps. Okay, so few modules, they may not be following DevOps process. So you'll always encourage within the team through your managers or team leaders. So they should move to the DevOps process. Okay, few projects they are not moving. Generally, still they are working on their own. So that is based on the business decisions and maintaining the current DevOps projects. If they face some pipelines errors, some configuration related errors, they will email you and they will ping you. You have to clear that. And then in new projects, setting up DevOps process. Okay. So these are the things you will take care. So as part of third point, you are doing right now. So you are having a meeting with developers. So you will understand their programming languages and deployment process. You will tell them this should be the branching strategy. The developers, they don't care about branching strategy. Okay. So they don't want to concentrate. They don't want to show some interest on branching strategy. So you have to explain and then move them. And then you will do this Jenkins file setup. So this is the one-time job. You will be sitting with them and then doing this configurations carefully for the first time. And then first time you will go to the Jenkins also. And here you will create user multi-branch pipeline. And then Git project repository, this one, and that's it. So you will do this. They will not have access. Okay. So anyhow, this will not build. Okay. Now you can see it is getting started. To publish artifact, I think we don't have user repo there. So that's it, right? So creation of that repo in Node.js, who will take care? So obviously we have to take care. So this is the first time setup. So all these things you explain them. So we will create repo, we will create, what is this port number, Nexus 8081. So you have to explain this in interview. So we will create the presence of their project in everything. So in Jenkins, you are creating their pipelines. In Nexus, you are creating their repo. Okay. So here, settings, and then we have repositories. So you will create their repo. It is Maven 2 hosted user. And this one, next layout policy permissive. So these are the things we created. Okay, hosted Maven 2 default online. Yeah, so it is your responsibility to create this user repo also. And then you trigger the pipeline once again. So it is pushing to the repository user only, right? Yeah. So you will have one standard operating process. Generally, we call it as standard operating procedure. Whenever they approach you, so you'll have some protocol, you'll discuss with them, you'll create Jenkins, you'll create Nexus, you'll create SonarQube. And then if they want any new namespace, you will request administrators also to create the new namespace, everything. Okay, now we got into our user. Okay, 1.2.0 is uploaded. Now some error because Photoshop Shade Library, it has install. Okay, just write a if condition here. Okay, so if you should check if the component is already exist, run this command. If the component is not exist, then you run the install command. When it is not deployed, still it is upgraded. Oh, should try this. Okay, I don't have any chat.ml here. User help. Yeah, this is empty. Let me give as user. Okay. Now you run again. Oh, again error. So here in HPA, I didn't mention this HPA.utilization. So you have to give HPA utilization 75. I'm giving. So for the first time, we need to spend some time with them to resolve all these errors. So this is how really we will get. We cannot do everything properly in a single shot. Again error. Calling webhook. Config map. Deployment. HPA. Service. Everything is fine, but internal error occurred. Failed calling webhook. LPv2 gate. AWS load balancer webhook. So is this? Let me run once again and then check. Let me check it here. kubectl. Let me first set up RoboShop. kubectl get pods. Okay, everything is gone. Maybe the instances are getting terminated. So instances are terminated. That is because you can see. So these are the spot capacity we are doing. So AWS will take back any time. Would not launch spot instances, unable to fulfill. So spot, there is no guarantee you will get it. Okay. So you may get or you may not get. So usually we will do with on-demand instances. If you do with on-demand instances, then you will get a lot of bill. So that is why I selected spot, but spot, there is no guarantee you will get it. So let me do one more thing. Let me check what are the subnets it has. 1A and 1B. Okay, so 1A and 1B. So 1B is out of capacity for spot instances. So I'm selecting 1A and I'm just giving it a spot 1A. Now EKS CTL create node group --config file equal to eks.aml. So you will get another auto scaling group and it will try to create 3 instances in 1A. So at that time, so this Kubernetes should automatically keep. So right now, Kubernetes don't have any capacity. Okay, because there are no worker nodes. So that is why it came to the pending state. But once the capacity is up, Kubernetes will automatically do provision these pods into the new capacity. So that is what the Kubernetes feature, right? So you don't need to do anything if the capacity is available. Okay, new instances are getting launched in another region. So now the point is proved. For example, if there is a problem in 1A availability zone, like a tsunami or earthquake, something happened, the data center is completely down in 1A. So now you should not worry about your business. You don't need to worry about your business. You can just come here and then create another node group into another availability zone. Immediately your business will come up within few minutes. Okay, or for the safe side, generally for high availability, so you can create 2 worker node groups in 2 availability zones. Okay. So if you have too much budget like Netflix, so Netflix, they used to do this high availability. So they will provision always the resources. They don't care about the budget. So one time, so something was outdated, the availability zone was completely out in US, but Netflix business was still running. All the applications depends on that availability zone were down. Only Netflix business was up at that time. Okay. So if you have high budget, you can follow 2 availability zones at a time. Or if you have low budget, so you can wait for the alerts. So if there is an alert about one availability zone is down, you can immediately create within few minutes. You can see automatically our all pods are coming up. So this problem is because let us see this. This is because of EBS. Okay, earlier EBS volumes are in 1A availability zone. Now it came to 1B. So here you should do something. So this is a rare scenario. Whenever a complete agent is down, so you obviously it will take few minutes to make your business up and running. So now the problem here is, so this stateful set is trying to attach to the same volume. Let me go to the volumes. So this stateful set is created these volumes, right? Yeah, you can see available. So these are the 4 volumes. Now we lost. So ideally what you have to do is you have to do some migration activity. You need to take the snapshot of this and then you need to move this volume to the different availability zone. Okay. So it's fine. We no need to learn each and everything because that is a completely different scenario. But now what I do here is I will delete. Just understand the work other teams will do. So we no need to do everything. Okay. So now what we have to do, we have to create this K8 databases. So that is why generally we don't put databases into EKS cluster. Okay. But in some case like Elasticsearch or Prometheus Grafana, if you keep the database into Elastic clusters, you have to take the snapshot and move that volume to another availability zone. Okay. Helm install MongoDB dot Helm upgrade. So it's already there. Kubernetes RoboShop. Helm upgrade. Helm list. -n RoboShop. So this is deployment. Catalog user web or running at config map. Let me check. Catalog MySQL is there, but only stateful set is not available. Let me get kubeNS RoboShop Helm install or Helm list -n default. There is some problem with the Helm always while selecting namespace. Helm delete MongoDB -n default helm delete Redis -n default helm delete MySQL -n default helm delete RabbitMQ -n default. Okay, so now what we do, helm install for the safe side always MongoDB -n pass our namespace RoboShop. MongoDB dot and RoboShop. So pass it always RoboShop helm list -n RoboShop, because there is no sync between kubectl and namespace sometimes, kubectl and helm sometimes. Redis helm and then helm install Redis and then MySQL helm install MySQL and then RabbitMQ. Still pending. PVC. Why is it not able to create? So problem is we got the new instances, but you don't have the access. Wow, now everything came up. Okay, so now it don't have the access of EC2 full access to create volume. EC2 it is already allocated or what? So security into the role. Oh, it has the EC2 full access also. So now we have six worker nodes capacity. One is 1B and the others are in 1A. Okay, maybe these are in 1A region. Yeah, we just created in 1A region. So here you need to create the EC2 full access. Okay, now our pods. If I delete, now you can see it is getting created. So you no need to worry about this. These are all the administrator job. Okay. So one by one it is getting. Now can you guys access our user module and then ping me in the chat? Can you try registering to our user? So user is working, you are able to sign up. So now this is the way you should explain in the interviews. So you'll have some standard operating procedure. So you will discuss with them and you will create Jenkins pipelines and you will create Nexus repos and then you'll create the namespaces if required. You know, MongoDB is connected. Okay, so you'll get error obviously. Why? Because in config map, we haven't done that. So coming here, so our web config map, we have our this one, right? Nginx edit. So here I need to queue user thing. Okay, so this is user. Now this is also user. So once you edit it here, okay, just check once again, describe. So you will see user. Oh, no, edit. Was not saved. Okay, I'll type manually. Location / API / user / proxy pass HTTP user 8080 / And this is WQ. That's it. Oh, again an error here. Okay, that's good. Now let me describe and check whether it is getting saved or not. Not saved. Okay. kubectl edit config map nginx -n roboshop hyphen, just edit like this. So this user, and this is user. So now let us check get config map and -o YAML. Okay, so it is done. Now I will just delete this web. Now you can try. Oh, error. Describe something wrong. Host not found user. Don't we have service? User service is not available. Why? I deleted by mistake. Huh? Okay, let me do one thing. Just try deploying. What errors? Because shop shared library. Okay, this is upgrade, and I will give -n roboshop. Just understand the problems, multiple problems we are getting it. So why we are getting, you should check here. L for logs, T for describe. So it is saying clearly user not found. So if user not found is nothing but service is not available. Okay, you come here and you check there is no service with user. Still error while deploying. It's not available. Helm list -n RoboShop. The problem is last time, it's always safe anyhow to give namespace in this. Okay. So it is not respecting, Helm is not respecting our kubectl namespace selection. Okay, I'll do one thing. Helm delete user -n default. Helm delete web -n default. Helm delete catalog -n default. Okay. So anyhow, I hope you understood the process. Obviously, we got some errors. Okay, so just to Helm install. So now let us configure our catalog. I hope everything is running now. Catalog is getting created, and then user. Now we are passing the namespace. We should not get any problem. Okay, user is done. And then finally, web. Helm install web.-n RoboShop. kubectl get edit config map. Let us just check config map nginx-n RoboShop. User is available or not. So obviously it is not available. Because I applied from here. So here user, and then here user. Yes, now it is done. I'll delete web once. So we will see the load balancers. It is provisioning. Sorry, time is extended. Okay, select it, create. So now I hope you guys understood how to explain this, what we are doing with the developers. Okay, so we will set up we have the ready-made pipelines available. If we don't have, for example, Java, we don't have. So we only have Node.js VM and Node.js EKS. We don't have any Java VM also we have. Okay, Java VM, we have to develop. How you develop, same process. Tomorrow I will show you. I'll develop and then I'll just show you. So just 1 or 2, 3 stages will change. So if you have pipelines available, you will do this setup. If you don't have pipelines available, you will develop the pipelines, you will discuss branching strategy, and then you will set up the DevOps projects. You will create the pipelines, you will create the repos, you will create the SonarQube projects, everything you do, and you discuss with them properly, and you will be sitting with them for at least 1 or 2 deployments successful. Once it is done, then everything will be taken care of by developers. So going forward, if they face any problems in the pipelines or configurations, they will approach you. So you should be able to debug the application like this. Okay. Yeah. So now I think user component must work. You can check. Any questions we can discuss? So now we have total 6 nodes. Okay, so the capacity came up, then Kubernetes immediately created. So now to delete this cluster, ideally, whatever the components we install, we need to delete everything. Otherwise, you can, so first thing, let me delete everything. First ingress. So this will delete the load balancer. And then, so there is no scenario of deleting the cluster unless your project is completely terminated. Okay. Deployments. And then stateful set. So this will delete the pods. So at least our load balancers are removed because these are the extra components created by delete this one. And finally, you can come here to the CloudFormation and delete these things. Okay. First, delete this add-on. Next, delete node groups. And finally, delete the cluster. Okay, so you can wait until these node groups are deleted for 5 minutes. And then finally, you delete the cluster. And keep checking your volumes. Because volumes by default, they will not be deleted automatically because that is what the stateful set. They will keep it available. Any questions? Just understand this. Don't understand this in a technical terms. Okay. Understand like in a common process, how DevOps and developers can work together. So you are telling as a story in interviews, you are not telling about any technical details. So you don't need to worry even you are not able to get while practicing. So if you are not able to do the practice completely like this, don't worry. You just listen to the session once again. If you are able to make it, then it is very good. Otherwise, try to do that. Worst case, if you are not able to do this project completely like what I explained, no need to worry. You just understand that and repeat the process. So explaining the process confidentially is important. Obviously, we cannot do it online. We cannot share our screen and we cannot do everything like these things. We cannot do it, obviously. Okay, you need to explain them properly in the interviews so that they have to trust you. Okay. Yes, Arvind.
Hi Shiva.
Yeah,
So
hi.
complete project, right? So there, see, you have taken us through the what the developers does and what the DevOps engineers does.
Hmm.
In certain cases, right? So I don't have the details yet, but in certain cases, I'm confused where developers pitch in and where the DevOps engineers pitch in.
Okay, one case at least.
Uh, see, for developing the Node.js stages and all for the Nexus.
That we have to do.
Okay.
So we will have the DevOps guys will have some sample Hello World projects. Okay, so whatever you do it on that. So you just define one structure. What is the Hello Node.js structure? The Node.js structure is nothing but it should have one package.json and then JS files. That's all about the Node.js structure. So DevOps guys, even we don't have any shipping project. Consider shipping is not at discussed. Shipping is not in our RoboShop. So just to be ready, these DevOps guys, they can consider one simple Java project. Okay. So for example, so this is the Java project structure. It should have one form.xml, some Java code. So they will take one Hello World Java application. Structure is same. Getting it?
Okay.
And they will make the pipeline ready.
Mhm.
So once shipping guys come up and then they will say, so we have the pipeline readily available. Just keep this Jenkins file, follow the branching strategy, and tell us your project. We have to create in Jenkins, Nexus, and wherever it required.
Okay.
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 So
Yeah.
once we do everything, they will run the pipelines. So they may get errors. We will clear them and see how we got the PVC errors, permissions errors. Those things we will clear. And going forward, now everything they will do. So they can click everything and maybe so they will get some crash loop back of errors like how we got now. So we will go into the logs and then we will check, we will find out the actual error and we will discuss with them. So that is how it goes. Okay.
Okay. Shiva, another question is, what is the plan for next week, Shiva? So we'll be
So
having the classes.
I will take some extra sessions. So Python, yeah. So in yesterday I discussed. So Prometheus and Grafana is still pending. Okay, that will take 2 sessions. I'll take them in evening, and then Python I will launch a separate course. Okay, and then we will give you all access.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So unfortunately, this is my first time. I was not able to complete it after long back in planned time. So there is something Python Telesco something. So you can refer that Telesco. There is a channel. Okay. So here there is Python. Just keep referring that till that time, and then I will repeat the same Python syntax, and we will create some use cases. Okay, so this is the channel. Here we have Python. Don't learn Python as a programming language. Learn Python as a scripting only. Don't go for any frameworks. Okay.
Okay. The other thing is about interview questions and
Interview questions will be preparing. I'll take one resume session on this Saturday. So interview questions I shared a lot of recordings to you guys, but I didn't receive any interview questions except from one person. Okay, so if you want, I'll share these recordings to everyone. Just post me the questions, I'll be answering. Okay.
okay.
So you got the interview questions already?
No, not yet.
Okay, so then I'll share to your all email IDs. At least some of you, please write the questions, then I will write the answers. So I can't spend so much time to listen to the recordings and then write the questions. And it is useful for you also to listen to the recording so that you can understand how the interviewer asking, how the candidate is replying.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
Yes, I got few questions from one person, Murali, I think. Yeah, I'll reply to those questions. We'll conduct one resume session on Saturday. Attend to that.
So unfortunately, so it will be recorded, Shiva, by any chance?
Yeah, recorded, obviously recorded.
Not be available this Saturday. So hence,
We'll record and then we'll upload it to the same playlist.
okay, that helps. Yeah, thanks, Shiva.
Yeah, most welcome. That's all for today's session. Thank you so much. See you in tomorrow's session. Bye bye.